Welcome to another edition of Cano Local TV, being brought to you by CEO Management, DV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the mighty ldbc. I'm going to touch up a little bit on Najee Lopez, man, but before we get started, I know there's a lot of people asking me to do a top 10 of the top 10 Puerto Rican prospects out there. I put a post on my community tab, man, asking for any and all of y'all to have input in there. And the reason I do that is not to make it easy on me. It is in case I may forget to judge a prospect, whether they belong on the list or not. I'm only one person. I'm not going to be able to remember everybody. And even yet, and still, with me putting this post, I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody that gets forgotten within that list. Okay. So that's why I'm seeking people's input on the list on my community tab. So if you haven't seen that, go over there to my community tab, check it out, put in the names you think belong on the top 10 Puerto Rican prospects, which, by the way, Najee Lopez, who we're talking about today, is 12-0, 9 knockouts, turned pro in 2021. He's 25 years old. He does belong on this list. He fights at light heavyweight. He's a Puerto Rican in Atlanta, but trains in Tampa with Mark Ferret. Those who are not familiar with Mark Ferret, he trains the Valle brothers. He also trains, he's the new trainer for Edgar Berlanga as well. I think he's got Daryl Valsaint over there as well. A stable full of thoroughbreds, over there, man. And Najee Lopez is one of those guys that I've been super high on, been to several of his events. I actually met him once, like where I got to chop it up with him one time for a few minutes and shit like that. But it's good to see fighters like that, coming up, because I've been one of those big proponents that I believe he's going to be a world champion. And I like his style. A lot of people may not know much about him. He fights on Pro Box, and he's going to be fighting this Friday on Pro Box facing Gilberto Castillo, okay? Good little fight and stuff like that, man. And the thing I like about Najee Lopez is he can box and he can bang, okay? And he's got power in his hands as well. A very, very thorough individual, man. And he's checked a lot of my boxes already. And I know, like in his last fight, man, a lot of people might have had a little hiccup, where he got flash knocked down and stuff like that. That to me wasn't a hiccup, okay? That to me is a check, it's a box that's checked off as well, because now I know what's gonna happen if he does get caught with something. What's he gonna do? I got my answer already. I got my answer. He is going to get up and continue to box and fight. That's what he's going to do. It's not going to affect him to the point like, some other fighters, man, they go down after that and they're done. That's not the case with Najee Lopez, man. So I know he's got the heart now. He's got the will, determination to always, give it everything he has, which, by the way, he did win the fight. He's still undefeated. He went through adversity. I like that. When I see that early in the fighter's career, I love it. Most of y'all will be like, oh, man, he got exposed. He got exposed. No. When you go through adversity, it doesn't mean you're exposed. That's experience he has gained, okay? I like his story, by the way, his father passed away, I think in 2020. I believe it was, okay? His father didn't get to see him become what he is today, okay? And I know that I read on an article somewhere, which I knew already, but I read it on an article, I believe it was on a boxing scene where, where he says, he wants to make sure he does right by his father, man, his love for the sport had kind of like went away when his father had passed away, man. And eventually, he got the love for the sport back, man. And I'm glad he did, because I know that's what his father would want him to do. He would have wanted him to continue on in the sport, which he is doing. And I believe that the end goal is going to be to become a world champion. I truly believe that he is well on his way to becoming a world champion. All he's got to do is stay focused, be patient, train hard. Don't let the distractions get to you, man. And I think he's gonna be at the top, man. I truly love Najee Lopez, man, to death, man. I think he's gonna be he's just top tier to me, man. And I know y'all gonna, it's okay, man. We all got a difference of opinion. I just been talking about Najee for the last couple of years already, last 2 or 3 years. And nobody's going to change my mind on Najee Lopez. It might have been even longer than that, man. I'd have to check with Dorian Velez, man, the maker of DV Tracksuits, because I turned him on to Najee Lopez, and I don't know how many years ago it was, man. Matter of fact, we went to the event together, man, and he watched Najee Lopez in action in person himself, man. So shout out to Najee Lopez, man, and all the other prospects out there at Pro Box TV, man. Shout out to Dominic Valle, Marquez Valle, Daryl Valsaint. And I know that Belanga's not a pro box fighter, but he's over there with Mark Ferret. So shout out to Edgar Belanga too. And the reason I mentioned that is because I love the fact that he realized he had to go back there so he could start getting the proper training again. The training that got him to where he became, a good pro. So we'll see how all that works out, man. I think Mark Ferret is going to have all of these fighters ready, all of them. Like, man, I can't die. I'm dying to talk about the rest of them, but this is a Najee Lopez video, but I'm throwing little nuggets in there so y'all can go check these names out, okay? And this Friday, he does fight on Pro Box. Najee Lopez will be fighting on Pro Box. I believe he's the main event. Like I said, he's fighting Gilberto Castillo. Najee is 12-0 with 9 knockouts. Go check Najee Lopez out on Pro Box this Friday. I may even go live and call the fight, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Hopefully y'all smash the like button. This always brought to you by CEO Management, DV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the mighty LDBC, Cano Local TV. Hey, man, we out of here. On to the next.